All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about something that's constantly being fought over, something you only have so much of, and that's your attention. We're going to peel back the curtain on the attention trap and see how these digital platforms are literally engineered to capture and control our behavior. You know that feeling, right? You just mean to check one little thing on your phone, and then poof, an hour is just gone. You kind of blink and wonder, wait, where did that time go? It's a universal experience, and you're probably asking yourself, why it keeps happening over and over again? Well, here's the crucial thing to understand. This isn't about you having poor self-control. It's not a personal failing at all. The truth is, you're not just distracted. You are smack in the middle of a battle for your attention, and you're up against some of the smartest, most powerful systems ever created by humans. So here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with what I call our digital days. Then we'll look at why attention has become the new currency. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how your behavior is engineered, what this is actually doing to your brain, and finally, the most important part, how you can reclaim your mind. Okay, first up, our digital days. I'm talking about the hidden cost of being constantly connected. It feels like we have the world at our fingertips, but that constant connection, it comes with a price, and it's a pretty steep one. And what does that price look like? Well, for starters, there's just this constant mental fatigue. You're just tired. All those pings and notifications create a state of permanent distraction, making it almost impossible to truly focus. And weirdly enough, the more connected we are online, the more we can feel a real sense of social disconnection in our actual lives. It can also ramp up our anxiety and even leave us with this nagging feeling of not being good enough. So that brings us to the big question. Why is this happening? It's not just a flaw in the apps. It's the entire economic engine they run on. We're going to talk about the new currency, attention, and why your focus has become Silicon Valley's absolute most valuable asset. This whole system has a name, the attention economy. And it works like this. Imagine you're in a desert and there's only one well. Water becomes the most valuable thing, right? Well, in our world, we're drowning in a sea of information. So what becomes scarce? What becomes valuable? Our attention. A wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. And all these companies are fighting tooth and nail for that tiny, precious resource. You know, what's wild is that this isn't some newfangled idea. Way back in 1971, a guy named Herbert Simon basically called it. He said, what information consumes is rather obvious. It consumes the attention of its recipients. He saw that every bit of info we take in has a cost, and that cost is our attention. That one little insight from over 50 years ago, it's the bedrock of the entire digital world we live in today. All right, so if your attention is the new gold, how exactly do they mine it? This is where it gets a little scary. We're about to look at the invisible tools that are designed from the ground up to engineer your behavior. There's a term for this, surveillance capitalism. It was coined by Harvard professor Shoshana Zuboff, and it's basically this. Every single thing you do online, every click, every like, every video you watch, even your location, is collected. It's treated like a raw material, like oil or timber. This data is then fed into massive computer models to predict what you'll do next, and then nudge you toward behaviors that make someone else money. And one of the main ways they nudge us is with something called dark patterns. The FTC even has an official definition: design practices that trick or manipulate users into making choices they wouldn't have otherwise made. You've definitely seen these. Ever tried to cancel a subscription and it feels like you're trying to escape a maze? That's a classic dark pattern. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. On the one side, you have the deceptive choice. See that big, bright, happy-looking button that says, yes, I want great deals? Your eye goes right to it. But the option to say no is tiny, grayed out, and uses confusing language. Now look at the other side. That's a clear choice. Simple yes or no. Dark patterns are built to take advantage of the fact that we're all busy, we scan things quickly, and we don't always read every single word. Okay, so this isn't just about psychology or economics. This stuff is literally changing our brains. The neurological impact of living in this digital world is, well, it's pretty significant. Let's look at what's happening to your brain on social media. And the science here is startling. Studies using brain scans have found that in heavy social media users, there's less activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. That's a fancy way of saying the part of your brain that handles impulse control isn't working as hard. Other studies show the cerebellum, which is linked to attention, can actually have reduced volume. And then there's the big one, dopamine. The little rush you get from a like or a notification, that's a dopamine hit.
These apps are designed to give you those hits unpredictably, which hijacks your brain's reward system in the exact same way that gambling or other addictive behaviors.
And just look at how fast this is happening. In 2017 alone, the average daily screen time for teens shot up by 4.4%. I mean, that's not a gradual change. That is a massive, rapid acceleration in how much time we're spending plugged into these systems that are, as we just saw, altering our brain. So I know that all sounds pretty bleak, but here's the good news. The story does not end there. Now that we know how the system works, we can start to fight back. So let's get into the solutions. Let's talk about reclaiming your mind with a toolkit for becoming, as the author Nir Eyal puts it, indistractable. And let's get one thing straight. The goal here isn't to demonize technology. We're not saying you should go live in a cave and throw your phone away. These tools are powerful and can be amazing. The point is to be in control of it, not the other way around. It's about shifting that power dynamic back to you. Nir Eyal gives us a really clear 4-step plan. First, you've got to master your internal triggers. What's that feeling? Boredom, loneliness, stress that makes you reach for your phone? Figure that out. Second, you have to make time for what he calls traction. That's the stuff you actually want to be doing with your time. You have to schedule it. Third, you got to hack back the external triggers. That means turning off almost all of your notifications. Be ruthless. And finally, you can use packs to prevent distraction. These are like pre-commitments, maybe using an app that blocks certain websites for you. And if you want something you can start like right now, here's a science-backed recovery protocol. Step 1 is just awareness. Track how much you're using your phone, and this is key, without judging yourself. Just see the data. Step 2 is reduction. The research shows that getting social media down to about 30 minutes a day can make a huge difference in your well-being. And step 3 is separation. Create physical, phone-free zones and times. The dinner table, no phones. Your bedroom, definitely no phones. So at the end of the day, it's like this. These platforms have set up a game. And the rules of that game are designed to capture your attention and turn it into profit. But the thing is, now you know the rules. You see the playbook. You understand the game. So the real question, the only question that matters is this. Now that you know how the game works, how are you going to play?